the second part, we are looking at the matters of the scorecard from the electorate to the legislators in the various houses, that is the National Assembly and also in the National Senate. Now, here we assessed this through an approval rating. Now, when you talk of an approval rating, we are talking about a rating which is given in a scale of 1 to 10, and each and every one of the respondents who is involved in this is given an opportunity to indicate between the rate of 1 to 10 their perception of their particular legislator in their performance rather. Now, looking at the key points that were considered in the assessment, it was among them was the charisma of the particular leaders, also the impacts of the developmental projects that the particular leaders are involved in. Also, matters that came about also from the respondents was the legislative prowess of particular legislators, and also the interpersonal relationship between the legislators and the electorate. And also, a matter that came out quite frequently was the free and fair allocation of bursaries. Now, going into the study, which also assesses the top 50 members of parliament, a national quantitative survey method was used with a sample size of 21,169 registered voters above 18 years being involved. The random multi-stage stratified sampling was used, and the population was proportionate to the population of that particular area. Now we move into the top 10 among the members of parliament based on their approval rating from their constituents. And at the 10th position, we have a Rangwe member of parliament, that is Honorable Lilian Gogo, who was able to acquire an approval rating of 75.7%. Now, among the top projects that were mentioned by the constituents who gave her this approval rating was the purchase of the Rangwe NGCDF buses in school bus at St. Stephen Angiro Mixed Secondary School, Atego Mixed Secondary School, St. Paul Aucha Mixed Secondary Schools, enhancement of education infrastructure, free and fair issuance of bursaries, constructions of Rangwe sub-county headquarters, among others, that were able to issue her an approval rating of 75.7% from the residents of Rangwe constituency within Homa Bay County. Now, within that same slot, which was shared, it was shared between her, that is Lilian Gogo, and also the Kikuyu member of parliament, that is majority leader Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah within Kiambu County. Now, among the projects that gave the Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah an approval rating of 75.7% includes developing a school infrastructure within his constituency, and also the tarmacking and rehabilitation of various roads within the constituency, such as Gikambura Shopping Center roads, upgrade of Kidmafaku, Kino 87, and Kino Chief roads, and also a free and fair issuance of bursaries. Now, this was something that was noted among the respondents, the free and fair issuance of bursaries. That was very common among the respondents within this study. And also moving on to the 9th position, which was held by Kinangop Member of Parliament, that is Honorable Kwenya Dhuku. Kwenya Dhuku was able to garner an approval rating of 75.9%. This coming about based with the constituency naming several projects, among them infrastructural development of schools within the constituency, the maintenance of roads, several water projects within the constituency, and also free and fair issuance of bursaries being the common factor there. And also moving on to the 8th slot, which went north, which went to Wajir South Member of Parliament, that is Honorable Mohammed Ado, in Wajir County. Now, among the projects that gave Honorable Mohammed Ado an approval rating of 76.5% from the constituents of Wajir South constituency was the drilling of boreholes in several locations within his constituency, also the scholarship of students with a passion for teaching programs, and also the infrastructural development of schools within the constituency, and also free and fair allocation of bursaries. Moving on to the 8th position also, which was shared by Gatanga Member of Parliament within Murang'a County, that is Honorable Wakili Muriu, who was able to garner a 76.5% approval rating. And among the projects mentioned by the constituents involved in this particular study include the issuance of bursaries to needy students within Gatanga constituency, water projects across the constituency, and also the grading and graveling of roads within the constituency. All that garnering the Gatanga Member of Parliament, that is Honorable Wakili Muriu, an approval rating of 76.5%. Moving on to the 7th slot, which was held by Mopsop Member of Parliament, that is Honorable Abraham Kirwa, who was able to garner an approval rating of 77.3%. Now, among the projects that put this legislator within the 7th slot was the construction and maintenance of various roads and bridges within his constituency, the completion of a water project in Kamugei, also the free and fair issuance of bursaries for students within Mosop constituency. All these giving him an approval rating of 77.3% from the residents of Mosop constituency. Moving on, the 7th slot also shared by Unguja Member of Parliament, that the minority leader rather, that is Honorable Opiyo Wandai. Opiyo Wandai was able to garner an approval rating of 77.3% from the residents of Unguja constituency within Siaya County. Now, among the projects that were mentioned in relation to this particular legislator was the infrastructural development of learning institutions within the constituency, sponsorship of driving students, construction of Office of the Chief at Madugu sublocation and Madugu Police Post at Bugi Village in Sigomere Ward, and also the free and fair issuance of bursaries within Unguja constituency. All these giving the Honorable Opiyo Wandai an approval rating of 77.3% from the residents of his constituency. Moving on to the 6th position, which was held by Keio South Member of Parliament, that is Honorable Gideon Kimaiyo, was able to garner an approval rating of 77.5%. And among the projects that were noted being executed by this particular legislator included the grading and upgrading of several roads within the constituency, also the borehole projects across the constituency in several areas, infrastructural development in schools, and also the free and fair issuance of bursaries within the constituency. All these giving him an approval rating of 77.5%. That is Honorable Gideon Kimaiyo from the residents of Keio South constituency within Elgeyo Marakwet County. Now, within the 5th position, the 5th position went through to Nakuru County, held by Bahati Member of Parliament, that is Honorable Irene Njoki. Irene Njoki was able to garner an approval rating of 77.8%. And among the projects that were named by the constituents involved in this particular study include the construction and renovation of schools infrastructure, constructions and maintenance of roads within the constituency, the water projects also within the constituency, and also an Akiba and Mrembo empowerment program to try and bolster the economic strength of the residents of that particular constituency, giving Honorable Irene Njoki an approval rating of 77.8%. That is the Bahati Member of Parliament, making the top 5 there. Also within the top 5 was Honorable Nabi Nabwera, that is the Lugari Member of Parliament, who was able to acquire an approval rating of 77.8%. Now, among the projects that were named in relation to this particular legislator included the construction and renovation of learning institutions, also the upgrading and rehabilitation of roads within the constituency. These were able to give the Honorable Nabi Nabwera, the Lugari Member of Parliament, an approval rating of 77.8%, making him clinch among the top 5. Going to the 4th slot, which was held by the Kimilili Member of Parliament, that is Honorable Didmas Baraza, who was able to clinch the 4th spot with an approval rating of 78.3%. from the residents of Kimilili constituency within Bungoma County. Among the projects that were mentioned in relation to this particular legislator was the infrastructural development of schools within the constituency, also the construction and rehabilitation of roads, the elimination of grass-thatched house programs, and also the establishment of the Kimilili ICT Center and Library. Among these projects were among the ones that were noted by the constituents that were involved in this particular study, giving the Honorable Didmas Baraza an approval rating of 78.3%. Moving forward, within the fourth slot also, which was also shared, it was shared by Embakasi East Member of Parliament within Nairobi County, that is Honorable Babu Owino, who was able to garner an approval rating of 78.3% from the residents of Embakasi East constituency. Among the projects that were noted by the constituents was the construction and refurbishment of roads within the constituency, construction of an assistant chief's office at Utawala, learning institutions gaining infrastructural development also, and also the issuance of bursary checks through the constituency. Now, among these projects were those that were able to be noted by the constituents that were involved in this particular study, giving the Honorable Babu Owino, Embakasi East Member of Parliament, an approval rating of 78.3%. Moving on to the top three. Now, the third slot was taken by Mavoko Member of Parliament, that is Honorable Patrick Makau, who was able to garner an approval rating of 78.5% from the residents of Mavoko constituency that were involved in this particular study. Now, among the projects that were mentioned in relation to this legislator was the infrastructural development of learning institutions within the constituency, the establishment of construction and of new classrooms in Mavoko constituency, construction and rehabilitation of roads, construction and furnishing of the Mlolongo police station, and also distribution of relief food to special groups within the constituency. All this giving him an approval rating of 78.5% rather. That is Honorable Patrick Makau of Mavoko constituency in Machakos County, and making him be among the top three, actually being number 3. And the second slot was claimed by Kiharu Member of Parliament, that is Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, who was able to acquire an approval rating of 78.6%. Now, among the projects that were mentioned by the constituents of Kiharu was the Kiharu Masomo Bora program, where fees was reduced to 1,000 per term for all Kiharu Day secondary schools, construction and rehabilitation of roads and bridges within the constituency, financing of schools as well, establishment of construction of new secondary schools within the constituency, and also renovation and tilling of all public primary schools within the constituency. This giving him an approval rating of 78.6%. That is the Kiharu Member of Parliament, Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, being among the top, going at the second position. At the top slot, it was held within Nairobi County, and this was held by none other than Honorable Tim Wanyonyi, the Westlands Member of Parliament. Now, the Honorable Tim Wanyonyi was able to acquire an approval rating of 82.6%, making him the top-rated Member of Parliament from the residents of Westlands constituency. Among the projects that gave Honorable Tim Wanyonyi the top spot include the tamaking and rehabilitation of roads, such as Muiru Road in Mountain View, Crescent Road in Parklands, Githogoro Road, among others. Also, the donation of motorbikes to Boda Boda Sacco through the Boda Boda Economic Empowerment Program. Also, infrastructural development of learning institutions within Westlands constituency, the procurement of school buses in various schools within the constituency, and also the free and fair issuance of bursaries to students within Westlands constituency. These are among the projects that were noted by the residents of Westlands constituency within Nairobi County, giving the Honorable Tim Wanyonyi an approval rating of 82.6%, making him the top-rated Member of Parliament this year within the country.